Tell me what to do. E
Yes.
oh.
Oh. All right, I'm in.
All right.
Oh, that's cool. It shows your name on your plate carrier on the back there.
Nice
That's cool.
graphics.
Yeah, crank them all the way up.
Mouse sensitivity. Damn, it's way low.
Yeah, well,
Oh.
the game, like you can't even sprint in this really. Like it's
Yeah.
really, really, really slow,
There we
tactical,
go.
and methodical. So, yeah, we ain't gonna be rushing around no corners.
Huh.
Flashbang
Mission
rooms
view.
and shit.
Press the page up to collapse. Page up. Page up. Page up. New mission available. Thank you. Come again. Okay, now what do I do? It doesn't tell me anything to do. Briefing room?
Probably. Let's go see if the Chief's got anything for us.
Okay.
Does it give you like a marker, waypoint marker anywhere?
No.
Check over here on these boards. There might be something you can click on. Maybe over here, or on the projector over here. Maybe at the desk.
Approach the briefing desk to choose your next assignment. Okay, there we go.
Ah, there you go.
Hold backspace to dismiss. F to select mission. There we go. Hey, baby, don't play with those.
Let's
Come
go. You know it, buddy. You know it.
here. Yeah, he's like, yeah, sorry. Sometimes I just don't even think. He's all, I thought you only played in the morning, so I was like, yeah, on Saturday and Sunday. All right, thank you. Come again.
No, you should just play hooky and go play DayZ.
Believe you me, I want.
DayZ is life.
Press Y to ready up. Okay.
Yep.
Take
Alright,
a
so
note from Umbrella, and life is their business.
For real.
which is ironic. Jeremy, see I put two new chapters in there? Or 2 new parts to a chapter?
Yeah, it's too much.
That's too much. Can I get that on audiobook, please?
I would like to have somebody read that. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Mission commences. 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, pussies on the pavement, motherfuckers! I will split your wig.
What? It doesn't even make sense.
Why not? Doesn't tell me what to
Wow.
do.
Really? Wow.
Wow, really? That civilian's dead. Guess we gotta make our way into the gas station?
I guess so.
Why are you killing civilians?
I didn't kill him. Motherfucker got shot by the cartel or something.
5, 4.
Can't believe you did that to
3,
him.
2,
Well,
1.
looked like one of those dirty dopers.
One of them goddamn human traffickers.
Yeah.
Alright, be careful. Be careful. Pie the door each way you go in.
5.
Check every
4,
single corner.
3, 2, 1.
You can lean too. There you go. All right there. Make sure if you see somebody, you gotta yell at them.
How do I?
trying to figure out right now.
Get on the floor. Get on the floor. Get down. How do you in chat? Voice chat.
We got no lust. I was like expecting a lust. There's no lust.
X.
No lust group crazy.
Alright.
I know.
Alright, so when they got their hands up like that, go up to them and tie them up. Or zip tie 'em. I'll cover you.
That's the dirty doper. Black man.
If they pull a gun on you or anything like that, fucking try to shoot them in the foot, you know, and melee them if they don't put the stuff down. You know, kind of crack them in the nose with the butt of your weapon.
I gotta look at my.
Oh, bro, we're not letting you go at all. Stay right the fuck there and be quiet.
Yo, for compliance? Oh, there's not one set.
Yo for compliance.
I'm gonna pick the door.
Oh, we gotta kill the emissary this week.
Those guys back over there. Let's see. There's a way to drop a chem light too, so you can mark the rooms that you cleared. Oh, L3 and R3 is freezing. That's nice. Down is low ready. Okay, so it must be miscellaneous.
$35 million deeps on the first pull. Did they pull a bigger group? Pulled a bigger group and had lust, like I could see it.
Hell yeah. Oh, make sure you scan that gun too.
Evidence.
A willing sacrifice has been prepared.
Kitchen. Oh shit! Motherfucker.
Power eludes your grasp, Paladin. Attend to your curtail. Power without wisdom leads to ruin, Solir.
This tank
That was you.
can bait these lines so that the lines always go towards the tank.
Wonder how you
And
heal.
so if you point yourself at the wall, then they're just gonna go towards the wall, and they're, instead of being 50 feet like these ones are, they're like 5 feet
Down.
because it's just going right into a wall.
See how your wisdom
Okay.
against the might of the Titan.
pretty
Like
dope
how-
over there.
I like how he just cracks him in the top of the head there.
My
You can tell him to move too, and like, oh, bro, we have body cameras.
Yeah.
I can see your body camera.
Okay.
That's fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
That's sick.
I had to turn on the flashlight. I wonder.
On the D-pad somewhere.
Use the keyboard and mouse though.
Oh, there we go. That's how I drop chem
Throw
lights.
a chem light. Yep.
Haha.
See.
Yeah.
Chem light. Yep.
So clear the rooms.
La 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 la, waiting for people.
Oh, this money. We ain't turning this money in.
Hell no, we're corrupt cops. We're taking all that money.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Lucas would be very proud of us.
Very not proud of you.
my emissary brings you
Oh, frag out. Watch out. Shit. Don't push that button.
681.
You're good to open that.
Nervous tank because of the routes?
Right.
What do you mean?
Somebody
Because of
else-
the
somebody else
routes?
over here.
See that Wolverine?
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 The trailer? The new game?
Insomniac Games?
I thought I had one. Apparently I
It's so good,
didn't.
dude.
And someone
Like,
took it
how
from
about-
me.
How
That's
about that
weird.
episode last night, Chris? Goddamn eye. We finally seen that plant thing though, Chris.
Well, I get obviously for Mythic Plus if you're talking about the routes, but why would you be
I mean, hear me
scared
out,
of
bro.
it?
Alright, we
One,
complete the mission. Hold up.
we learned that the eyeball's weak as hell.
Yeah.
Because when it first jumped at Nibs, I thought, okay, well, she's stopping it because she's an android and she's got a lot of strength.
Right.
So the guy stopped it, so it's hella weak.
Yeah, it's
Two,
not strong.
how in the
It's
hell?
body.
So why did it go? Like, walk me through it. Did it just like, oh, I'm gonna just try to escape this plant or this?
I mean, if you're way off or way over, sure. But if you're you're gonna be doing a 2, like you should have tons of time.
It's just really easy, man.
I know.
If
Say,
you
oh,
if
let
you
me just find this
really worried about it, you can go get Mythic dungeon tools or whatever,
Let's
and
jump up,
go get routes for the dungeons.
Coming up, Chad.
Yep.
I need to target something first.
Bye. Like I'm gonna shit on a tank for, you know, if you're doing a, you know, a real high key and you're like we're nowhere close, right? But on a low key, no, that's where you're learning.
grievances towards my associates. You love memories with a long
What did you say those 681? I mean, realistically, with 681, you don't got any kind of tier though. 681. Yeah, that's definitely good enough to get in on the shenanigans of Mythic Plus. You run the LFR this week? This boss not getting moved very well. The issue isn't the boss getting moved very well. It's people not knowing how to place the fire down well, the DPS and the healer. Everyone should be stacked right in this little tiny piece, and right now they're freaking going way over and spreading the fire more than they need to. Pull him over more. Tank is making it harder, and the DPS making it harder. Did you finish your LFR though, Kagus? And then I think if you do the time walking quest, it's a champion. Well, I mean, today's Wednesday, so it would have been yesterday if you did it because of the resets.
Like your cartel has dissolved into dust. I choose to lead mine to glory.
I need to target something first.
Fair champ gear, yeah. Did the time walking and you did the delve. You got the you had a delver's map?
A willing sacrifice has been prepared.
Nice. You got. I would try to get in on the normal raid as well. Just go as like DPS. Because those boots from the raid, like I'm still using the boots from the normal raid. Like they're extremely good from the Demon Hunter boss.
A willing sacrifice has been prepared. Oh, the stars are mine.
This power is lost. Bow before cartel's soul. You are nothing. How dare you hinder me? The power of the first ones. Mine to control. The lands. I can feel them all. The power of the first ones. Mine to control. The power of the first ones. Mine to control. Bow before cartel's soul. You are nothing. How dare you hinder me? The power of the first one. Mine to control.
Not a fan of this boss. It just feels like it goes forever. Well, A-Hill getting multiple life bars. Like, if it was the same life bar, I don't think I would mind it as much. But it's just like, what a mental, you know, F you to be like, oh, hey, yeah, you killed me. I got a whole new life bar. Like, sucks to be you.
The first ones hid these artifacts for
Crash trinket.
They are not meant for us. I am grateful our paths crossed, More Walker. These troublesome pieces will reside where they can do no more harm and be studied by Cartel Al. Until our fortunes meet again.
The heck? Need to do a reload for something? I don't know. I opened up trade and then like they instantly closed it and then I couldn't move the item over. Literally not letting me move it or equip it. You're a night elf? Yeah. That's really weird. Can't move it. Nothing. You have 4 hours to trade those items now? Sheesh. Yeah, I don't like the Sims. I don't like Sims, and me and Pelly things actually talked about it the other day. Now, oh, now I can move it. But now... But in the Sim, everything's perfect. You know, so like, for instance, me and him both have the astral antenna. And in the sim, it's going to be like, oh, you know, you got this many procs, and, you know, you got every orb, you never missed an orb. And, like, there's options to change how often you do or don't get the orb. But in the sim, you're fighting, you know, let's say you're testing AoE. You're testing AoE for what, 3 to 5 minutes on 5 targets. Like, when does 5 targets ever live? You know, and like, for instance, in Gambit, that first pull, you know, there's like 30 targets, right? And so when you extrapolate that over the whole dungeon, I really don't feel that the sim is going to hold up right. And especially when you have different tanks and healers being able to pull different amounts, right? Like that plus 20, you're like, oh, they had way more ads, right? Plus they probably had a lust. And so like when you're actually doing it, it's never gonna be what you simmed. And so that's great that it simmed good, but what's it actually feel like when you're actually running it? You know, so like when I was fighting that last boss, I got like maybe 2 orbs the whole fight. But yet some of the trash fights earlier, I got like 3 orbs instantly. Like boom, here you go, here you go, here you go. And so it's just like, I feel like that astral antenna, yeah, it's a really good trinket if you're getting the orbs. If you're not able to even physically go get the orbs, I've had a lot of fights, especially like the one that sticks out the most for me though is Dimensius. As a DPS, a melee DPS in that fight. I feel like I'm moving a lot on Dimensius, and those orbs, they get left. Like, I am not backtracking for an orb, and so you know, how many orbs do I miss out on? And so I'd rather have something that I know is consistent. The Astral Intent is nice, and right now I really, in my opinion, I don't have a better trinket. Like, I got Streams of the Forgotten Sky I could upgrade and try out, but that's RNG too. It's requiring that comets are hitting, right? And then what other trinket? That's a tanking one. That's a tanking one. And then Cursed Stone Idol. That's actually a really good trinket as well. But the problem with that one is it's a channel. So here you are doing your rotation, you know, and then you gotta freaking, you know, sit here and do an actual cast. Whereas other trinkets, like one that stands out to me right now is Signet from the Priory. So like when I use that trinket, it's just instant. Like I can build it into a macro. So like, you know, if I got a macro to do whatever, you know, spell, at the end of that, I can just do /use 13 and it will just use it. Whereas this, I have to, like, it's a cast. So for a whole second, you know, I can't do anything else, you know. And it doesn't seem like it's important. But here's where I really don't like it. So I'll do a, you know, we're in combat, right? And when eventually this comes off cooldown, I'll try using it. And it doesn't want to get used. like you can sit there, just click spam it, and it's like, it feels like it's 2 seconds later when the spell will actually go through, or the trinket use. $20 seconds. Alright, so we're in combat. Click, 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 click. So, like, I have to completely stop everything I'm doing and literally just focus on clicking it. And that one actually went quick. I've seen it sometimes literally take 2-3 seconds to, like, register that I've been clicking the dang thing. And then finally do the channel. And that whole time, like, you're just having to devote. And if you just use a simple /use 13, it doesn't trigger that trinket. So, and it sucks because I actually had this or Signet, and I was dumb and I chose this because I was on my Druid on a website looking at trinkets, and I didn't realize on the Druid and not the Paladin. So here I am with a Mythic Cursed Stone Idol, and I really don't want to use it. So for now, I've not been using it. I got a Mythic Cursed Stone Idol, and I think I have a Mythic Sack Brood. Like, honestly, I'm tempted to change the antenna to the Sack Brood. I mean, if it hits, it is nice. I mean, 8,500 crit, 15 seconds, does damage to everyone around me, and then everyone I hit adds an extra 400 crit. So, like, it is nice. Up to 10,000 crit, you know. But 10,000 crit, that's 2 orbs from the antenna. Yeah, they don't last as long, but, like, in a minute and a half, how many orbs come out? I guarantee them, you know, 4. For sure. But, like, for that dungeon, oh, it got rid of it. But just for that, what? I was on the training dummy roughly a minute and a half, right? Auras. I took off the antenna. That's why I don't have an aura for it. I just don't feel like the uptime on it is all that. Like, I haven't gotten one orb yet. You know, we're 30 seconds into combat. So, like, that's the thing I don't like about it right there. So that's my first orb in almost a minute. Now, what if you know, we're standing still, right? But what if the tank's going down the hallway? And it's, you know, I'm way over here, we're going that way, and the orb spawns over there. I'm not, you know, just like this one did, right? I'm not backtracking to get that orb. I'm staying with the tank and doing damage. So now you missed out on an orb. And that's the biggest thing I hate about that damn antenna. Other than that, it definitely is the best trinket. If you get to collect the orbs. If you don't, then it's poop. Because it's not giving you any effect if you never collect it. Besides just strength. And I can get that from everything, right? Minus this one, right? But even then, I'm kind of curious. Like, Screams of the Forgotten. I feel like that should be one of the best trinkets in the game because you get it from the very last boss.
Go carefully.
Personally, I think the best mythic pieces to get are going to be your tier. Because your gun, or your weapon, you're only missing 3 item level from a crafted. So a mythic isn't going to be a huge upgrade. Whereas if you got a hero on your chest, you know, you got a hero chest piece, right? So like right now I got here, like I got a tier chest piece. So if it was hero, it'd be stuck at 710. But with mythic, you're getting 723. So it's a 13 item level upgrade. Whereas a crafted piece, your weapon, for me, my belt, right? If I got heroic belt or a mythic belt, excuse me, as opposed to crafted, it's not a very big upgrade. But I'm not ever going to get mythic tier because I'm not going to the raid. So the only way for me to get mythic tier is to get that from the vault. So in my mind, a mythic tier or something I can catalyst into that tier is infinitely better than a side item that I can turn into a crafted, right? So like I crafted my neck, I crafted my weapon, I crafted my belt. And so I'd argue that the best mythic pieces to get would be your tier pieces that you want to use so that you can jack up your item level, get more main stat. Because, like, I'm not going to go craft, you know, let's say I had a bunch of crafting and I could go make a bunch of 720s. Like, I'm not going to get rid of my set bonus. And there, you know, you need 4 pieces. So for me, what's left is my shoulder. So I can craft a shoulder or I can get a mythic piece from the vault. But if I was to get a mythic piece, I'd want my tier pieces to be mythic first out of anything else. Unless you just get a badass trinket, because the trinket's going to add a lot of deeps, right? But if you're just comparing a normal piece, you know, belt, boots, gloves, shoulder, I'd argue that the best pieces to get would be your tier. What is the chance of this a proc? Jeez. Like, I haven't gotten one proc of that trinket. Oh, whoops. Current segment. Groom's the Forgotten. 2.3%. Now, if this was a dungeon, when they die, they would do splash damage. But, like, it's really low for, you know, a freaking trinket that's coming from the end boss. 2% of my damage. Hits with a crit hitting 5 million damage. Hammer of Light crit for 9. And normal for 8. So, like, that trinket's garbage. And it's from the final boss. Like, that's just sad right there. Honestly, I think I'm gonna put. I think I had. Maybe it was on another character. Let me check the box. But I thought I had a mythic sack blood. Yep, right here. Honestly, I think I'm putting that over the antenna. Because I know that procs a lot. Give me base haste and every egg giving me 2800 strength. So at 3 stacks, you would have more there. Out of just curiosity, a weak ore for it. Stack Brood, Satbook Stack Tracker. That looks interesting. Import, import. So you wouldn't want to leave this up all the time, right? But this is for, let's say a test. So my antenna never procced until I hit, 30, 45 seconds last time. I'm already at 2 procs. Average stat from how much strength it's giving me. That's really interesting. Mind you, you gotta remember, a normal trinket's giving you like 7,000 strength. So right now, this trinket's now hit more strength on average. My max stack was 6 stacks. That's freaking nuts. So it's 6 stacks, 6 times 28. 6 times 2 is 12, times 8, 16. That's 13,600 strength instead of 7. It's double the strength. It's an averaging out 9,500 strength, whereas that's 7,000. Sheesh. So, if you were having a long fight, I think Sackbrood will beat out freaking Antenna personally. No orbs to change. This is completely passive. 10k strength average. Average of 3.5 stacks. Now mind you, if I max that out even more, that's more strength too. And it also does a little bit of damage as well. So if remember, the end boss trinket was 2%. Our car is only 3%. But the other one didn't even give stats, right? It was giving me 1900 crit. Big whoop. That's a wash because that was giving me haste. So 1900 for 1900. But that's a pretty high average stat. Then go proc up to like 15k strength, but if it's still averaging out to almost 1,000 more strength. That's 3 minutes in combat. Oh, that's been AoE the whole time. I get it, so it's not always gonna be, that high. I think I'll use Sackbrood, sadly, instead. Load. Item equipped. And just delete it, but definitely not bad. I'd rather have something smaller. That took up a lot of freaking. Green real estate. There. Yes. Oh, it's just giving me 19,000 strength for a second. Did you see that? Sheesh. Combat, please. Final Reckoning's on cooldown. I think that's dumb. You want to change your spec, as long as you're out of combat, do it, and then just put the new skill at the same cooldown that the old skill would have been. Ooh, but what do I know? back to a dungeon. The guy's streaming. There's a Vish Gambit. There's a Vish Gambit. Fiery. Going to Priory. Priory of the Sacred Flame. That is what we're getting ready to do. Just pure Zug. Why does a lock have so much life? Oh, it got upgraded and gave speed too? Lucky.
I'm out of range.
Five, four, three, two, one. Five, four, three, two, one.
The expedition built the Priory as a place to contemplate the mysteries of Paladin. But of late, the devotees have become secretive, hostile.
Right here?
The gods sought to kill. And their cries each of his lieutenants bolsters his tactics. Draw them away and defeat them.
This is a weird pull. I have a hunch he doesn't know what the hell to do here.
Sacrifice has been prepared.
Shane, ma'am, your training grounds fall to the intruders.
My emissary brings you power.
Almost died there. Right in the middle. Yeah, you don't know. You don't know. Oh, you definitely don't know. These are horrible, horrible pulls.
see their gambit. They seek to ambush me without my lieutenant. Ours is the true path to the Arathi.
A willing sacrifice.
What's up?
Readjust my voice modulators to the appropriate maturity level for this channel.
Okay.
The guys are playing Borderlands and Hot Shot and Chris into the mix, and so it's extra chaotic today. I was like, well, that's a little bit too much for my taste at the moment. Just want to work on some of this Diablo crap I've been working on. So I figured here would be a more appropriate place.
Sure. Doing the wowzers.
You doing raiding tonight, or?
I finished all the raids. I mean, normally there is a raid tonight, but they're going alts. They're doing an alt normal run, and then after that, they're doing alt heroic. And I just have no interest in any of that. I ran my alt runs yesterday after the raid. Yesterday I did 4 heroic raids and 1 normal. I only need to do 1 normal for one of my guys. But I mean, like, on Tuesday, just, you know, we've done the raid full clear 3 times on heroic, so this was the 4th. And it was like these people had just never been here. You know, and it was just wiping the stupid crap like all night. Like, mistakes happen, but these were like glaring mistakes.
Yeah,
and when you've been doing it for you know, well, weeks, you know, like we completed it multiple weeks.
Yeah, so there should be no reason for these people to extend their hands, whether they should stand or, you know, I guess
Right.
maybe if they're changing positions potentially. Or
So that was another thing.
heals.
Well, that was another issue. Was a bunch of them
Come on.
came on their alts. I'm like, if you're coming on your alt, like, oh, what the heck? Why do I got threat?
There should only be like a, let's say, you know, like a small percentage of people who are able to bring on, because once you bring too many, then the ability of the people with their secondary characters obviously is not as good as their main character. So the ability to clear even easy general mechanics goes down.
Right.
So that's why you always end up with much more wipes, because people are not as confident in the healer or the tank, and they're not using that.
Or they're not as good at it.
Yeah. And so whenever people did that in guilds, I remember 10 of those. Like, nope. You have fun with that.
Like, there's some people that can do good on their alts, and then there's some people that need to just not. And if they do, like, go. I don't want to say go do it somewhere else, but like, if you're not going to do stuff on the side to improve your character and you're only relying on the raid, then,
That's not good.
you know, like, no thanks. But on the flip side, if you're doing a bunch of stuff, like, I get what well, that was a silly. Like, some dude, this guy died twice, bro.
He's the AFK. He's the instinct.
He's the healer.
Oh, that's even worse. Oh man, I thought this guy on Twitch was using. Dang, Beardo, super.
I can't grow a beard
Well, you never tried. How do you know?
because it don't come in, and it itches my face and it irritates the heck out of me, so I shave it.
Well, you have to just get past that.
Nah.
Ooh, have 18 followers. Who the heck are these crazy people? I keep hearing lots of good things about the Red streaming service.
The red what?
The Red streaming service?
Red streaming service?
Yeah.
No idea what that even is.
The other one, on Twitch, the red one. One that we watch, you know. It rhymes with tube.
YouTube Red?
Mm-hmm. Or just YouTube in general. I try not to say that because I know Twitch is very particular about advertising other platforms.
Oh.
That's why people say like the purple app or the red app or something like that, because then you don't say the other people's thing.
I don't care.
Prey has warped the priory from a place of
As long as it's
Apparently
not
some people
anything
were-
crazy.
Some people
You know,
were like,
offensive
they
or
had
something.
like their YouTube, channels on their Twitch UI.
Yeah,
or
yeah, you can't do
whatever.
that. So that's
Yeah,
that's
so
leading
people are upset.
people away from Twitch, and that's a no-no.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so if you're monetized and making money, then you're not supposed to lead people away from Twitch, which makes sense. So like but like it's interesting because like you can put your socials. There's a place to put your socials on Twitch, like in the UI, and put your socials.
Yeah.
So like that's obviously okay, but like other things aren't. I'm just like, okay. You can't lead people off Twitch, but out of all the platform, we take half of everything you get. Duh. Right, Kagus. Right. Like,
About the,
we want half your money, but if you leave people off of Twitch, we don't get half anymore. So bad. Don't do that.
Don't do that. It's about our bottom line, not about you as a streamer or connecting with your audience. We just say that stuff so that, we look it up.
Yeah, I've seen people put like their Discords. I think that's kind of smart if you're willing to build that community. But if you're not willing to build that community, put in the effort, moderate it, like etc., then don't even bother.
You have to have a reason, or I guess like
I don't
maybe
think-
a particular niche that you fill. Like, let's say you're just a super big fan of Super Mega Baseball 4, and so you make a Discord and you just, all fans of that game gravitate towards that, and becomes large enough, becomes a sister Discord to the main one, something like that. But if you just do it to do it, and try to get random people to hang out, that's just doesn't seem like a good waste of energy, I suppose.
Like I said, it just kind of depends on how much work you put into it. Take our Discord, right? People come just to hang out.
Our Discord was great. I mean, our old one was good, but the new one is even better. You could tell it feels more premium just because things are laid out nice. You could tell that effort was put into making the channels and spelling things correctly and just setting it up right instead of just kind of, half just, lazily throwing it together and be like, okay, here you go.
Yeah, so Kagus, he said he made 2K in 4 months on Twitch, but Twitch took half of it. Right, so it's kind of sucky for like a smaller streamer, but it's kind of dumb because like as you get bigger, you get more of the share. So I don't know who Kai Senate is, but he's obviously pretty big because he has almost 800K subs for the month. And so being that big, you get a different price share. So it goes 70-30 at that point. So this big guy, this big guy gets 70-30. So if he had 800K in subs, I don't know if that's 800,000. I doubt it's 800,000 subscribers, and just 800K in subs. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Either way, that's still a lot a month. Either way.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's pretend it was the $800,000 a month in revenue instead of. This is dumb. This is dumb. You don't have thread on none of these guys. But he gets a 70-30 split because he's bigger. Like, I don't think size should deal with any of it, and it should just be, hey, here's what it is. Appreciate you streaming.
Yeah. Well, I think it might be to the point that they have more demand for server hardware than they have potential revenue coming in, maybe, because the level of ads and all these sort of things, like their monetization has been much more aggressive lately, and they've been really capped. Like they really, unless you're a big streamer, you're kind of not necessarily handicapped, but it's tough to climb that ladder. But a lot of people started on Twitch, and that's where all their people are, so it's really hard to get them to go anywhere else. So even though the experience might be less or not as good, people are still there because it's familiar and comfortable.
I'm not sure. But like,
what does Kagus stream normally?
Kagus normally streams classic Mr. Pandaria. He comes over to the light every so often. Plays retail.
Where are the true WoW players? Are they considered are they retail players or are they classic players?
You'll get arguments for both. I personally think your better players are on retail. Not to say that there's not bad players on retail, but I think your better players are on retail. And I say this because as we progress each expansion, the raids, the dungeons, the things that you deal with get more complex.
Yep.
You could go look back on the old raids and you're only ever dealing with like one mechanic. Like, oh, this next one thing's about to go off, right? There's never multiple things happening to you at once, and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to look out for this, but I need to look at where that guy's standing to de-cleanse him, because he needs to get rid of his debuff, but he needs to get rid of it over there, and if I do it early, it'll get rid of it in the group and kill the group. But I have to be cognizant of that, know where he is, heal the group, and move out of stuff on the floor all at the same time. And the further you get, they've gotten more and more intricate. Oh, you need you need to soak that with the tank. Like, soaking with the tank was never a thing. Like, whoa, no, 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 that's a tank soak. And this is a soak
I mean,
for us.
even tank swapping was at least back in Karazhan, it was a thing. It wasn't like every fight, but it was, every other fourth or fifth fight, and that was difficult sometimes because
Yeah, there's still tank
you know,
swaps,
like that sort of
but
stuff is like really fun. I
um,
always enjoyed that sort of stuff.
I,
Tag team
I
bosses and things
there,
like that.
there's videos about it, and it's you'll see the little TikTok, and it has some stupid little music to it, and it's really slow and dull, and you see just like a mage doing fireball, 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 like over and over to the boss. There's nothing going on. It's
But
dull.
still,
It's
though,
boring.
during
And
that fight,
then
though, that
you,
was
you it
amazing
transfers
gameplay because there wasn't
over to
nothing like it.
retail, and it's like a million things happening, and it's chaotic. Right. So yeah, at that time, it was hard, sure. But what I'm saying is, as the expansions have progressed, it's gotten harder, and so the way they, I guess, combat that is they've introduced different tiers of difficulty. Right. So if we're talking about raids, you got the looking for raid, which is like story time. It's as long as you're doing decent, like
If you gotta
it's
pull shit,
going to
it's great.
complete. You say that, but like this raid, it's not so much. But the you get hard stuck now because of GS and parses, gear score and parses. No, but that doesn't, your gear score and your parse doesn't change the fight difficulty though, right?
Right.
So what I'm saying is the complexity of bosses has gone up. And so to help the people that have different levels of skill, because it is a skill based game, even though, yes, you need gear,
Heck yeah, it is.
like gear doesn't always trump skill, and skill doesn't always trump gear. Like you kind of need both equally.
Yep.
But just because you have more gear doesn't necessarily mean you're good.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
That's why
so
you can really tell
they've
some of the
made,
people who have really high raid level stuff, but then when you take them into a 5-man, and you can tell right off the bat they don't know what they're doing. Like,
or vice versa.
where did you get that?
And
It seems suspect.
and like when
Okay.
like I do a lot of Mythic Plus dungeons, and so before you invite someone, like if you're pugging, all you have to go on is how many kills they've done, how many completions they have, what their item level is, and what their overall Mythic Plus score is. So, for instance, me and Alex were playing.
Further,
Went
further
and did.
contributing to the can't get a job because don't have no experience, and don't have no experience because you can't get a job.
Oh, for sure. But there's ways to, like, it's like that, but
Yeah, you gotta break in. You gotta want.
there's ways to increase your experience, if you will. It may be slow and it may not be the way you want to do it, but there's ways to do it. But so myself and Sil the other day were doing a Mythic Plus, and we invited 3 people, 2 of which were over 3K rating, and the other one was like 2980. So like all 3 of them were in a group. They came together, and
So I should have smoked that dungeon.
I doing my route. I'm tanking, and it was Floodgate, and there's a part where you get on a glider, and normally you get on the glider and go across the river, and there's a dang bullseye you land on, and then you go up and fight the other boss. Well, instead of getting on the glider, these guys just jumped down, and they're like, oh, you're not doing this way. Like, why wouldn't you follow the tank? Instead, you just like went and did your own little thing.
I bet you, because a lot of people, they have these custom bartender mods or action bar mods where they won't see certain mechanical things because either they're new or they haven't set them up. Like, you know, if you just throw on bartender, it will give you a bunch of default bars, but you'll have extra bars that you can turn on or off. That if you don't mess with the settings, you won't know that they're there or not there. And so I've had that happen to me. That happened to me in Oldar when I did that, where there's a couple of mechanics where driving the vehicles in the vehicle boss fight where I like didn't have the bars because they weren't set up or they were hidden or something like that. So definitely possible that that happened, but I mean, if you're doing that sort of content, you should have fixed that, like, you know, like
Well,
a
I mean, you
while
should
ago.
just pay attention to where the tank's
Set up your
going.
bars correctly, yeah.
Like,
know.
I don't know what they did, but you know, I was a bear, and I'm like, yeah, it's really hard to see this big bear over here, you know, and I poked fun at him. But I mean, it wasn't a wipe. We still, I'm pretty sure we timed still, but like, you know, they're pinging themselves like, oh my god, help me, as they run across the thing and pull even more mobs to me, and I have to tank those, and it changes up what I had to do as a tank. But they were high rated. They were, quote, good players. But just because you know, and I see it a lot because I tank, I heal, I do PS, and so I get to see the broad spectrum. If you only ever do one thing, then you never get to see how other people tank or how other people heal or whatever, and it stunts your growth, really, because I've seen other tanks do things and I'm like, ooh, that was really cool, I like that, and then I go and implement it myself. For Kagus's point, like, yeah, obviously they can't change Classic what it is, but like, Classic's been out for like 20 years. Like, there's nothing new with it. Like, you know, like
it's for the people who never experienced it.
If you've never played Classic or the particular expansion that Classic is running, like they're going to be redoing now for the third time, Burning Crusade. Like, if you've never played Burning Crusade, then yeah, go play Classic Burning Crusade. But if you've played it, I don't understand why you would want to go back for a third time now. Like, you did it originally when it came out, and then they reintroduced Classic like years later, and then Classic has now gone forward all the way to Mista Pandaria. So it's gone like 3-4 expansions in, and they're redoing Classic, so that Classic is now entering Burning Crusade, and then you got the original Classic still. So you got Classic Burning Crusade, Classic Mista Pandaria, and then Retail.
Oh my god!
Like, if you think about this, if you got 3 things of Classic, to me, it's those players can't handle Retail, and so they just keep rotating back through the different Classics.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we got to Mista Pandaria,
really like Back to the Future 1 and 2,
and in Mista Pandaria, like that expansion went to complete hell. When they got to the Ogremar raid, and Kagus's guild has even seen it where they've had dwindling and more dwindling numbers. Like, I mean, I don't play, I just watch his stream, and you know, you can see it. They've had dwindling numbers and people not coming back, and the same people not coming back, and you have even hit the Ogremar raid getting released, which was like the worst part of Mista Pandaria. Like, I came to do Panda and Asian stuff, and here we are doing it because it's a raid in Ogremar. You got an expansion for Pandaria. No, but think about this: you got an expansion introducing the pandas, which, mind you, they're not new. They were in Warcraft 3.
Is it the first raid of the expansion, or is
no?
it
It's the last raid. The last raid of the Panda expansion.
Yeah,
The Shaw of Anger has corrupted Garrosh, and we need to stop Garrosh, and so the Horde and the Alliance are joining up to overthrow the Horde War Chief. Working at TikTok, I see a ton of WoW videos plus other stuff, but the one I saw is, if you like slow gameplay, have to really farm gear and work for your own stuff, Classic is the
Yeah,
best.
yeah.
If you want fast gameplay, big numbers, then
Yeah.
retail's the way.
Well, that slow plotting, but
On the
eventual
on the
reward from that from
numbers,
classic is good for
on
is
the
intoxicating for a reason.
the there's two things that I liked about Classic, that I continue to like about Classic, and one of them's a double-edged sword. The first one is there's no transmog. And so while it sucks that I don't get to dress up and play freaking dress up, on the flip side, when you see people with really good gear, you're like, oh wow, that guy's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm in town and I could be dressed in anything and people don't know if I'm good or not good. Did he go do that
Yep, and
raid?
so
Did he
people will
earn
not
it
pay attention.
legitimately? Or
Yeah, people will
what,
just
right?
lower right past you.
And especially
Yep,
when
yep,
you've
yep.
introduced the same looking gear for the raid on easy difficulty or hard difficulty, it all
Right,
looks
it's
the
just a
same.
color swap.
Right, it's just a color swap, right? So when you see people in the good gear in Classic, you're like, ooh.
Yeah. Wow.
Or they have no life, like Kaga said, or they got no life.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I
Very
don't
true, very
necessarily
true.
say it's no life. It's just there's, different people have different time commitments in their personal life. Like, I don't work, I'm retired. I sit at home all day, so I can,
Yeah,
I
you
can do
do.
12-hour streams every day, and more or less, it doesn't change anything in my personal life. But, if you're not someone that can put down the game and you're not doing the things that you need to do, and, having a negative addiction to WoW or whatever game you do play, then you need to reevaluate yourself for sure. So I don't mind if people play a lot, as long as they're doing it in a healthy manner, right? Because you don't know what their personal, finances
Yeah.
and life really looks like. So you can say, yeah, they're no lifing it, but like, if they ain't got nothing to do anyways, like, is it really no lifing? Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Like,
Somebody asked me
you
why
can say,
I was
oh,
writing
why
that
don't you
Diablo
get out
thing. I'm
more?
like,
It's fun.
because I wanted to. Yeah, literally because I.
Some
just
people
wanted
like
to
to
do it.
write, and some people are like, why would you write? Why would you read
I
subtitles
just.
in an anime?
Yeah,
Why don't you
I
just
just
wait
like
for it
to
to
do
come
it.
out dubbed? Well, some people can read fast, and so the subtitles don't
Yeah.
bother them. But other people are like, it's too much for them, it overloads them, or they hate it so much that they just can't do it. And so
Yeah.
that ruins their experience of the anime, so they only watch dub. There's
He's like,
nothing
I like
per
it,
se
but
wrong
hate
with
your
it,
fear, your favorite hate.
but like, just because you are against it doesn't mean it's necessarily a bad thing, right?
Right.
But so that's
Exactly.
the first thing I really do like about Classic. And you see someone walking down the aisle in the street, and you see him in full PvP, tier, what
Level
was it,
60
tier
PvP
rank
gear,
14 gear,
full
or
martial
full
gear, or
full T2, full
looking like May guy
T3,
back in the
like,
day.
ooh, dang, like, that guy's
Yeah.
been doing some raiding, he's been doing some PvP,
Yeah,
awesome,
that guy's a beast.
right? So that's a cool thing. It kind of sucks, but overall I like it. The second thing I really like was this. It wasn't in the game. Oh, you want to do a dungeon? Oh, find a group. Here it is. Teleport to the dungeon. Well, that's a convenience, and it makes your time in WoW go quicker
More
to the
efficient.
thing that you actually want to do, and you're not, like, I remember, if you weren't Horde, going and doing the Scarlet Monastery dungeons
Yeah.
was good luck.
You had to go through some PvP areas. And
You had to go
get
through
encounters.
PvP
Yeah,
areas. You
I
had to
remember that.
run
Yeah.
and
That
walk
was so cool and
for
unique, though. I
for like
really
an
liked that a lot.
hour, and the whole
Yeah.
group had to do it. There was no, like,
Yeah.
back in the day,
I
the
remember
summoning
running
stones were
through
not summoning stones. They were called they're meeting stones, and it was just telling you that there was a dungeon there. Not like you couldn't summon with them.
Yeah, it was
So
just a road sign.
you could, hopefully you
If
had a
you bring a
lock.
warlock, you gotta
But
get
but
there. You
but
have
not
to
only
step
the
foot in
luck
or
would have to get
fly
there,
or
but two
walk.
other persons would have to get there as well.
Uh-huh.
So you could only summon
Hell
two
yeah.
people, and so you had to like go go on an adventure to go to the dungeon to do an
Right.
adventure.
Yeah, it really
And
it made it feel
and that part's
epic.
well, that's the part I didn't like, right? But the caveat to that is since you couldn't just click and join a group and have the game put you in a group,
The people who were
you-
in those
you
groups
had
knew what
to-
the heck they were doing.
you had to build rapport with people. You're in trade
Yeah.
chat or looking for groups saying, hey, we need 3 people for this, and you would get to actually know people. And you'd put people on your friends list. You would put people Mad Mardigan. I still remember. It's Mad Mardigan is the mayor of Dentark. So you had to build a reputation, and then you'd add people. Oh, hey, I really liked you, healer or tank or DPS. Like, I'd like to run with you again. Here's a friend invite. That doesn't happen nowadays, and when it does, honestly, like, I just feel like they're being weird and kind of like a creeper. And I think I get that. I think I get that feeling because, like when you're a kid, obviously, I'm not talking about WoW for a second, but like you're a kid, right? You're 6th grader, 5th grader, whatever, and you go up to your friend, hey, you want to come over to my house and play? Yeah, I'd love to go to your house and play. And it's just taking at the value that it is. Let's go and play, right?
Yeah.
But the moment
Whatever that
you're now an
is.
adult, you just walk up to a random stranger. Hey, what's your name?
you're a
You want to
weirdo.
go? You want to go to my house and play? Right? Like you're gonna get hit. Like
yeah.
like there's no way to put that as an adult. And so when I get added now from random people that I play with, it kind of weirds me out a little bit. But back in the day, since you actually had to like build some kind of rapport with these people, you're walking 40 minutes to a dungeon.
When they
Hey,
messaged you,
let's
it was cool.
let's
it was like, oh,
let's
nice.
let's
Heck
meet
yeah,
up
let's
in
go.
this
Let's take a group.
area so we can go as a group to the dungeon because there's safety in numbers, and depending on the dungeon you're going to, there might be potential of PvP. And then that's going to slow down getting to the dungeon. So, hey, let's meet up and we'll
but it
all
made
move from
that
this
simple,
place.
Small 5-man dungeon really feel like a big deal.
And so
a
that's
much bigger
definitely
deal.
an essence that retail has lost. And there's
Absolutely.
positives to what they now have, the group finder. There are lots of positives. There's also negatives, and the game has become
But
less
I feel like they kind of kicked
social.
themselves in their own butt by doing that, because they made it easier for people to progress through the content faster. So therefore, now they have lit a fire under their own ass. Now they have to create content, create raids, and make the stuff even faster. Whereas before, it was difficult to build a 10-man group. Only organized groups of people could do it, and you had to work your way to get inside of stuff like that.
Friends
And
list.
so you didn't get high raid level or whatever, or maybe you got just locked
11
out
months.
completely. But
so long
definitely
ago
a
that
different
just says
experience.
offline. Yeah, so like I got, I try not to keep people on my friends list that I don't know or play with a lot.
Yeah. I find a lot of people don't even talk really in chat much. It's just people come in, kind of do their thing, half-assed or half paying attention and leave, and then way in bed.
Oh yeah, 100%. So yeah,
they don't talk at all.
the social aspect has diminished from the game. You really have to put yourself out there to try to get it. And so like the best way is like they introduce communities. So you got guilds and you got communities, and so you can how much you connect with people now requires more on your time outside of WoW. Hey, here's our Discord. You join the Discord, you hop in voice chats with people, you talk, and you're like, oh, after talking with you, either you are not my kind of person, or you are my kind of person, or you're just kind of in the middle. Like, like it's like a coworker, right? Some coworkers you're like, I like that person. Other ones you're like, I freaking hate that guy. And other
Yeah,
ones you're like,
exactly.
nah, I don't like
Or
or
if you're in
hate
your
you.
guild,
It's
you just
just
gotta put
whatever.
up with them, and and learn how to deal with people like that, and
Right. And
people
so,
skill.
but you it requires you doing off game time stuff
Yeah,
to
which a
really
lot of people are
connect.
like, no
And
way.
even like yeah, you can hop in voice chat while you're playing WoW and whatnot, but you still need to people are still saying stuff in the Discord channels that you need to read, react to, put your own stuff in. If you never talk in
Yeah,
Discord, especially if you never hop in voice chat, then people are like, even if you're in the same guild, people are like, who are you? Because you're
yeah,
just
exactly.
kind of like
You don't say anything. Yeah,
you're in the background, right? And so you're not really ever, you know,
part of the conversation.
right. And so the the social aspect of WoW and honestly MMOs have kind of gone away from being
Yeah,
focused on
we're
in
more
game,
connected than ever before,
and
but
you're having to
ways
do it
almost less and less.
in somewhere else. I have to join a
Crazy.
Discord, and like I could, how many Discords I got for WoW? One,
Um,
two, three, four.
I remember the
I got
Barons
4
chat being
Discords
just
just for WoW.
absolutely wild with Chuck Norris jokes and borderline, mean things and just all sorts of crazy
Oh, it's
stuff.
well, it's just Burns chat, right? Gone. Like I'm not even in general freaking
Yeah, I
channel
think
by
most people just
default.
just don't even join it anymore. They
Well,
just
I don't
opt out
even think
completely.
you're in it by default. I don't know. Like, I never took myself out of it, but on some characters, I swear, it's like I don't even have some channels that I'm like they were default to like
It doesn't help
that
too
they
that
were
a
always
lot of
there.
channels are spammed by bots and other annoyances. Oh man, where the heck do I go? Oh, I gotta get in there. But how?
I'm gonna get a drink.
Let's see, where am I at in Diablo? History of
You should just make a an RPG with like RPG Maker.
Yeah. What's cool is they have one for PlayStation 5 too. Yeah, Jesus Christ, I hope I don't get sucked in there. Okay, chapter 2, part 4. That is part 4. Basically went through the wiki and all of these different sites and kind of made a general timeline of just, you know, boom, here, big moment, here's another big moment, and just a nice line. And then in between the lines, I would put a number, and the number would correspond to like a small reminder that, so like for example, when the Harajam hunt the 3 primevals, they go after the Mephisto first, and then they go after Baal, and they go after Diablo. You know, you don't have to necessarily go into great detail about it, but it's nice having like a small blurb so you can essentially piece together the smaller sections of the timeline together, and then as you go through, you can sort of take that and then look at different wiki entries or different resources like the Diablo 1, all those lore books on the disc that they had are available on YouTube that you can listen through. So you kind of listen through those and then just sort of try to generalize what happened into a clear sort of sentence, and then just try to keep it all the same tone, run it through a grammar check, because my grammar is completely terrible, and punctuation, and then spell check it. And this is all done on my phone from Notepad, and wham bam. And I have so much more to go. It is crazy. But we'll get there though. We'll get there. Dun, 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 dun. Wow, 2010 and 2011, still playing WoW.
2010, 2011 is not really a long time. It's only 10 years ago.
That's a decade ago, yeah. And they're still. This goes to show you the power, staying power of World of Warcraft. What other game are people playing that's 10 years old besides maybe Destiny?
I was gonna say Destiny. I mean, lots of people are playing games that are 10 years old, but the question is, how many players do they have? Like, people still play Ultima Online. It has like 20 expansions.
Absolutely.
And they're still building on it. But do you honestly think they got, over 200,000 people like they used to? Or 2 million or whatever it was back in, the 90s.
Wow, they don't.
But WoW
anymore, do they?
WoW doesn't have it either. Well, I bet you they make just as much money though, because back in the day they were only making money off of subscriptions. So think about this.
Yeah.
At the heyday they had like 11 million subscribers. So each month, let's say they're not paying the discount, they're getting 165 million, right? But let's say now they got, let's say half as many people, so 5.5 million players, right? And they're still making that 15 a month. So you're like, oh wow, well they lost a freaking like 82 million because it was 165 million a month and now it's 82 million a month.
Yeah.
But now you got all kinds of stuff to buy. So
Yeah, those
you got
mounts and all
mounts,
that, when
you got
when
you
that
got
DLC
WoW
made all that
tokens,
money,
you got
that right there,
all,
they knew immediately.
you know, the Blazing Heroic pack, $30. These two mounts, $35. This transmog, $25. A WoW token,
mount.
some gold.
Mount.
No. This one's free.
That's
This one
insane.
costs them nothing. You pay us $20, we'll give you 280k gold. Quote and quote, these tokens are only made by other WoW players. No, they're not. Let's think about this logically. If I'm a WoW player, I can either buy a WoW token that gives me 30 days of playtime, or I can sell a WoW token for whatever the going rate of gold is. Now, you don't get to choose what the going rate is. You can't be like, well, I'm willing to sell it for less. It sells for what it sells for, period.
Yeah.
Well, do you think there's more people buying gold or selling gold? I guarantee,
probably.
I personally think there'd be more people buying gold. That's me personally.
Oh.
I've sold gold. I've never bought gold. Personally. But I know a lot of people, like, they don't have time to make gold in WoW. So time is money.
And
they're
they
just
figured that out too.
That's
why they
they're just
like,
they're just gonna buy gold. So instead of WoW losing money to these third-party websites, hey, if we just put this in the game, then, like, yeah, some people still go to the third-party website, but we're gonna scare them, be like, that's against terms of service. You don't want to do that. We might ban you if we catch you, right? But
you'll stop some people, but not everybody.
Right, so you'll stop some people, but you're not going to stop everyone. You know, but I can, you know, if I really want the thing or the gold to buy the enchants because I don't have gold or whatever, or hey, if you pre-buy a year of WoW, we'll give you some extra mounts, or oh, you want these Shaw infused little things? Here's 2 mounts, a pet, some armor, and a toy. $40.
Ooh.
I'm not saying everyone does that, but let's say we can look at the numbers. I got some pets that I know I've bought. So, what's a in-game store pet? It's a dog. Shoe. This was an in-game pet. It's not in the store anymore. I bought it. 9.9% of characters own this mount. Now that's important. Characters. That's not accounts. That's characters. So I have 13 characters. That increased 13 times of how many people own this mount, right? So let's say each account has 10 characters. Some people have more, some people have less, but let's do 13 because that's how many classes there are. One of each class, right? So if we divide our active subscribers by 13 and then do 10%, right? So 5.5 million subscribers, and 10% of them have this mount. But again, 13, each account has 13 accounts. So we're going to divide this 5 million by 13 first. That's how many accounts that's how many total accounts there are. So there's 423,000 accounts for those characters. Now we divide that by our 10%. So divide it by 10 to give us 10%. So 42,000 people, just with my guesstimating, have bought this mount. Okay, well, it was $25. So now times $25. So they made a cool $1 million off of this little mount.
Oh yeah.
From just easy
Not
guesstimation
to mention
kind
all
of
their
math.
Call of Duty skins and
That's
junk like that.
That's one.
Which, I mean,
that's
they have to pay for
one
server
pet.
costs, but yeah, they're making
That's
money hand over
one
fist.
pet. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 per page. 8, 16, 24,
per page.
24,
That's
28. There's
they're,
29 mounts, but there's mounts that they've
into.
taken off of the
Yeah.
store. So there's actually been more than 29 because there's some mounts that they've retired from the in-game store, and they're all $25. Every single mount, $25. I've bought in a few of them.
Oh no!
You know, but by no means do I have all of them. So even let's count myself. I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
I seen a video
8,
that
11,
said something. If you
3,
were
4,
to
5,
have been
6,
subscribed from
7, 8,
release
9,
date until the current modern day,
10,
you would have paid
11,
subscription
12,
fees
13,
of like
14.
5.4K.
So
over that
I've done
entire time.
14. So 14 mounts. I've paid $350 in mounts. They, you know, do you really think these mounts take a long time to actually create? Like, hey, you're going to make us a mount and I want it, you know, like this mount came out during Pandaria, I believe. So like make it, you know, themed for our current expansion or this current whatever. Make us a mount. This guy or girl, this designer made a dog. You know, this guy made a tiger that has, you know, jungle / mana aspect. Right? This guy, this is an aspect. This came out during Dragon Flight. You know, so it was, you know, each one's themed to something that was going on. This freaking, it was the year of the pig, guaranteed. You know, this is Chinese themed, guarantee ya. We had a year of the pig one year, and this is what they made. You know, right here, year of the ox. We do a lot of Chinese stuff. You know, here's another one from freaking Pandaria.
Yeah.
You know, so
They
they're
realized
all
the Chinese market
themed,
was worth selling to.
right?
It's a lot of people and a lot of money.
This mount, like there's one of them, but they actually had a recolor of this one, and you had to buy it as a set. It was like 60, 70 bucks for the set, and you got 5 different colors of this mount. That recoloring, all you do is just bring the freaking hue slider over, you got a new mount. Oh, hue slider over again, you got a new mount. Oh,
Yeah.
hue slider over, you got a new mount. And so, like, none of these mounts would take longer than a week to make, but they bring in hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Bring Spectral Tiger to the
Meanwhile,
item store.
Wings of Liberty took years
They won't
to
do
make,
that.
dedication, talented artists, and all this stuff, and it made less than
Right, the expansion for StarCraft made less than one mount did.
Right.
One mount. How many mounts have there been on for sale? And other crap. So while they have less subscribers, they're offering more things for sale now.
Yeah. Each subscriber has more money to, you know, put into it.
And the longer you have these subscribers,
They're
the
getting
more
money
the more these people also won't quit WoW. The longer you've had them, it's a time varsity, right? I've spent this much time in WoW, like I can't just not play WoW anymore, not have a subscription.
I can take a break, but
you know, right? Oh, you take a small break. Oh, yeah, yeah. You might take a small break and play some COD, but what happens in a month? 2 months. Oh, I'm still paying for WoW. I need to get in there, do some stuff. You know, and now here you are back, and it's a time fallacy, right? the whole I've put in so much time so I can't quit. Sure you can. You just don't, you know, you're justifying it to yourself on why you can't quit. You can quit. If you're not having fun, quit. Like that's the whole point of video games is to have fun.
I think some people lose sight of that sometimes.
If you're not having fun, and like I don't mean like, oh, this boss is hard and I've sat here and wiped for 2 hours. That's still fun, right? Because when you beat it, you're gonna be like, hell yeah, and then it's gonna be easier next week.
That's the funnest part is the getting kicked back to the beginning, be like, nope, not good enough. Try again.
But I like doing the hard mode dungeons, if you will. Doing Priory again, all right. And I like pushing, but not to the degree that some people like it. Like, I think if I played just one character, like, I would push a lot harder than I do.
Oh yeah, get up on those leaderboards.
The orphans of Merodar have been asking to play with you again. I think they...
The orphans want to play. I don't care about the orphans of Meladar. Please. I am curious how their no combat add-ons is really going to be, though.
No combat add-ons.
Yeah, so like details where it shows how much damage you're doing or healing you're doing or uptime of your spells, all that gonna be gone. They're gonna put in Blizzard's putting in their own DPS add-on. Like they're not gonna get rid of it, but they're gonna get rid of it. Like they're gonna get rid of third-party combat add-ons. So like the UI is fine, but like weak auras where it's like, oh, this thing is happening right now. You might want to pay attention or go over here or do this. Those will be all gone. So weak auras are going to be gone.
Good. That'll change
lots
a
of
lot.
Lots of combat add-ons are going to be gone. But they're trying to make it so like UI stuff is still fine. But like for instance, if you looked at my UI right now, I can see what major cooldowns everyone has and if they've interrupted. That'll be gone. It's combat add-on.
Yep.
So no longer will I be able to know if one of my party members has an available interrupt. Now, I won't be able to know.
How many times he's kicked or interrupted.
I won't, and maybe their add-on will be good, their DPS add-on. But is it going to be better than something that's been out for years? I doubt it.
Nope. But we didn't have those sort of things back in the day either, too.
But you say that, but we did. Deadly Boss mods came out in the first patch of freaking... Why are we doing this? It came out the first patch in Burning Crusade.
Yeah, I remember.
So, I mean...
detailed, though, and people didn't really... it wasn't like... now that sort of stuff is common law. Like, you have to have that stuff. They looked at it as a weirdo if you sort of don't have it. Whereas back then, it was more of a high-level raider sort of a thing. It's not necessarily needed in 5 mans or anything like that. It was a much simpler time, but, the bosses were also simpler. The mechanics were simpler.
Kagus, he says...
See how that gets swapped out.
Kagus said, I heard all the pro players that do world first races are actually upset about the whole add-on thing because they think Blizzard keeping it quiet and they will release it on the day of the next world race.
That's okay, what's wrong with that? Alright? Make it a little bit challenging for yourself.
It's already challenging. My issue is that they said, oh, well, we don't want add-ons to feel like you have to have an add-on to do the content. I agree with that kind of sentiment, definitely.
I do too.
But I don't think that that sentiment alone needs to make it so you need to get rid of add-ons. Why don't you just make it so
Where
that
do you draw the
in-game...
line?
They've already drawn lines, but what I'm saying is, like, they're like... My viewpoint on why they're adding the no combat add-ons is to make it so that console is in the same... I don't want to say category, but so that they're in the same level field.
Yeah.
And
Or-
especially because Microsoft bought Blizzard, like they want
they could do-
a
they have enough money
return.
to
So
do
if they
this.
put it on console, that's a huge return on their money. But you don't also want all the console people to be like, I can't compete because I don't have XYZ add-on or whatever. So an easy way to fix that is
That'll be a
no
big
one
excuse,
has
so
them.
they'll use them.
Well, or you could just make the in-game thing better and just have it side by side with the add-ons that are already out anyways. Like why do you have to why do you have to get rid of combat add-ons to implement something that you should have done years ago?
That's the thing, they don't. They just don't really care about the player sentiment, and I think that's good too. Listening to the players all the time is not necessarily a good thing, because then it just sort of gets all sorts of warped. Like, yeah, take feedback and stuff like that, but you know, not everything the players say is possible. A lot of things that they say are nonsense. But I think that as far as combat mods go, they could do the whole mod thing. All they have to do is just do a thing where they would have to inspect it before it goes live on the mod marketplace or whatever it is. But they could do that. They could easily do that.
Okay, but I just don't see them doing it better than people that have been making one mod for 20 years.
Absolutely, yeah, and they won't. Like, Snowrunner is a good example too. A lot of the vehicles, weights and things like that, tires, all that, are done by the modders is much better because they have a lot of time and energy to focus that one thing. So yeah, their stuff is always going to be better. But we have mods on console too, on both systems that get approved weekly on the Discord. Every I think Monday they drop a new. All these new mods have been approved for consoles. Here they are. Boom.
Right.
And they get regularly updated with patches. So if a small AA publisher can do that, Activision Blizzard should have no problem doing that. It's just whether or not they want to is the question.
You should link that video, Kagus. Dude, what is up with people doing these weird polls in this dungeon? This is the second week in a row that's just been completely different.
That's not Maximilian. Dude, is it okay, I guess? Somebody different?
Max, name Max, aka Maximum on Twitch, Team Liquid's coach. Only reason why Blizzard will never have good interface stuff that all these add-ons have is because they don't have a team that can fix it real time. These people that create it have all the time. Yeah, it's like, I mean, how many times you've seen Blizzard not even be able to have their own dungeons not buggy? Look at freaking Dawnbreaker, aka Dawnbricker, because it's going to brick your key because of how buggy it is. We did that dungeon the other night. The boss spawned before it was even supposed to be able to, and it was attacking our whole group across the map.
Wow.
And the key was a fail because of that. Nothing we could do. So what happens is you go on the airship, and when you go on the airship, you kill two I don't want to call them mini bosses, but you kill two groups of mobs, and then it's like, hey, here's a buff because we're stuck from all the Nerubian webs. go over to those other airships that we're stuck to and get us not stuck. And so you mount up, you fly to one, you kill the mob, you hit the bomb, and then you mount up and you fly to the other one. And then you do the same thing, you hit the bomb, and then that opens the boss on the main airship that you were on to begin with. Well, so we killed the first airship on the side, and we fly to the second airship, and we're starting to fight it, and then all of a sudden we're taking massive damage. The boss on the middle airship has somehow spawned and is smacking us. Yeah, but you know, everything Blizzard does is, you know, perfect and great. Like, they have so many bugs in their shit, and they want to take over making add-ons for combat. Like, I just don't have the faith that they're going to be able to do it effectively. You know, and if they make a
Definitely not the same team that it used to be.
and if they make a DPS add-on, is it going to be able to show me, like, hey, what was the uptime of this move? How many times did I cast it? How many crits did I have? Like, is it going to have those details?
Information at all, you know? 'Cause that's certainly possible.
It is, but like, that would make WoW of, like, it would take the competitiveness that is in WoW. So like your normal small stuff, that's not necessarily super competitive, but when you're getting into these really high keys, you need to be able to look at your stuff and be like, okay, you know, what happened here, or whatever. And so like right now,
Changes to
the
stuff if they do that. I mean, they would have to.
like right now the combat logs are open. So as combat happens, the add-on can read the combat log. But what they plan to do is lock the combat log. So you can only read the combat log after you exit WoW. So
Wow.
that's why it kills the
That's
DPS
pretty-
meter add-ons, because they read that combat log file,
Right.
but they would be
They
gone.
probably have already locked down access to the API too, so they can't use like.
Well, apparently I can't see your link,
alternative ways.
so you should just put that in the Discord somewhere. But look at MOP. They released for first phase of raids, and somehow the world bosses also spawned, which shouldn't have, for 3 more weeks. So they had to leave them in. Yeah, so I remember when he was talking about that. You're right. The world bosses were supposed to start appearing, let's say, September 1st, but instead they stayed.
Oh, that's nuts.
Like, oh yeah, our bad on releasing the world bosses 3 weeks early, but what's done is done, so have at it.
Yeah, yikes.
And you want to take over making add-ons. You can't even get your game right half the time, and have to
bring it
do,
console too,
you,
and then
you
have
know,
a whole bunch of
well, the console is just
people will be
my
pissed.
personal
I hope they do. I'd play it.
think. Like, you know, you bring that to console, like, you get a lot more people playing, especially if you're like, that was a waste of a Lost. Especially if you're like, hey, everyone that has Xbox Ultimate, well, if you can get the Xbox Ultimate Plus, which includes the monthly subscription to WoW, and instead of paying, you know, $15 a month to WoW, you just pay us an extra $5. And you'll get more people playing WoW instant. And then you're like, oh, well, this is actually a really good deal. We should get Ultimate just because. And then you get people on Ultimate Plus and charging just an extra $5. Like, it helps their reoccurring subscription model, right?
Give them money. Yep.
And even though